we've talked about before how it's the camera starts, people wonder, like there's this moment before we get started.
Yeah, yeah.
Will the mics be on? That's the question a live show always has. Will the mics be on?
Are we sure they're on?
Well,
I mean, I see on your little get up over here, we've got like little lines.
That's a good indication.
Lines moving and whatnot, and I haven't got any harassing tweets yet from any of our friends.
Always good,
but
always positive.
I mean, well, I mean, sometimes we like the harassing tweets. I mean, sometimes I look for that.
I like the complimentary.
Well, you're the ones that have to deal with them. Sometimes I'm the one that kind of eggs them along.
It's like, all right, everybody just pile on. It's
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do a little test run right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
CountrySquireRadio.com live.
I'm excited about tonight's episode. This will be fun. Kind of something a little different.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't done a Heroes of the Bowl in a while.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
But we do like to do Heroes of the Bowl from time to time. It's interesting. Well, we'll get into it as we.
Is it interesting?
I think. I see what you did there. That's pretty good. Oh my gosh! All right, let me click play here. See if we can hear ourselves. Hey, there we go. That's us.
And that's on.
I think that's good. As you would say, that dog will hunt.
That dog will hunt.
That is actually I saw somebody.
Unlike any dog I've ever owned.
Somebody on Facebook, I did actually see. Did like a research on Southernisms or something like that.
Yeah.
And the one that popped up was that dog will hunt.
That dog will hunt. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're the only person I've ever heard say that.
Yeah.
It's not just a you thing, though.
We ought to come out with, I don't know, maybe we could do an episode on some Southernisms.
We could actually, it'd be funny if we did parodies of your pipe tobaccos. You got Hunting Creek. We could do that.
It probably would.
We could do that dog will Hunting Creek.
That dog will Hunting Creek.
Yeah, that'd be good. All right, let's get started, shall we?
Let's do it.
Welcome to Country Squire Radio. I'm Bo.
And I'm John David.
JD.
Hey, Bo. Good evening, man.
Man, good evening to you, sir. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. It was a beautiful day today here in central Mississippi.
Yeah,
and, man, I was just so excited. We had the doors open today at the shop. And the birds are even chirping right now as we're recording. And it's just really nice pipe smoking weather. We've got a lot of rain, I think, coming into town, and we're kind of in between some rain. But, man, we're rocking and rolling around here. It's a real nice time to smoke a pipe.
That's good, man.
What you been up to, man?
Oh, just staying busy, always staying busy. We've got some great things that are going on over at Potastery. We've got some great things going on at Satchel. Never a dull moment in this wonderful world that we live in.
We know how to spice it up, don't we?
Yeah, man.
I think I kind of get this sense sometimes that we're people that, if there's not a crisis or some drama, we kind of have to create a crisis or some drama just to keep it interesting,
Let's not do that.
Otherwise, why would we be excited to get up every day? We wouldn't have some fire to put out.
I got some fire I got to share with you real quick.
Yeah.
Before we jump into all the important things, I mean, people come to this. It's a pipe show. They want to hear about pipes, pipe tobacco, pipe smokers. We got a great show for you guys tonight. But before we jump into that, I saw a movie this weekend that I did not expect to go ever see in theaters.
Yeah.
Jungle Book.
The Jungle Book?
Yeah.
Wow.
You've heard about this quote unquote live action Jungle Book?
I guess I haven't. No.
Okay.
I'm familiar with the Jungle Book, and then, but they came out with a new iteration of it.
So I saw.
Tell me what's going on.
I saw this trailer for this when they first put it out, and I was like, oh, okay, interesting. They're making a Jungle Book movie.
Yeah.
And so I was watching it, and it was kind of interesting. And you hear the voice of Scarlett Johansson in this trailer, and she's talking to Mowgli, the boy who's in the woods, and she's like, what are you doing lost in the woods? Don't you know what you are? I know what you are. I'll take care of you, and like saying all these things, and you think. As you're watching this, you're like, oh, okay, interesting. This is like the mother talking, the mother wolf.
Yeah.
Because he was raised by wolves. And then, she gets to the point where like, all you have to do is trust in me.
Oh, wow.
And it's the snake, and she's the snake. And like that moment, I still get chills actually.
Dude, that's
just
intense.
saying that. When you see that in the trailer, it just all of a sudden it pulls you in.
Yeah.
And so it's a fantastic, I saw it. I won't give any spoilers away, but it's a fantastic movie. It had Bill Murray as Baloo the bear. It had Christopher Walken as King Louie, the ape. He was orangutan in the cartoon. He's a different kind of monkey in this one, but then Shere Khan.
That's awesome, man.
Dude, they made Shere Khan like a super evil villain too. I mean, it's
now who made this? Was this a Disney film?
This is a Disney film.
Okay.
So they're doing a live action, version. I mean, the whole thing is like it's unlike, and they've done it a couple of times, but it's unlike any iteration they've ever done in the past.
Yeah.
Jon Favreau's the director, and we talk about movies from time to time. I got to say, this one I strongly recommend. It's not for the small kids because it is a little bit scarier. I think probably.
Did you take your kids? Is that what with the okay?
I just the reviews were so good, and that trailer impacted me as hard as it did. I was like, you know what? Me and Christina were able to go take a couple hours and went to the movie theater.
Good, man, date night.
Yeah, man, it was fun. But anyway, so if you've got kids that are like 10 or over, it's great for the whole family as long as the kids are old enough. So, man, check it out.
Trust me.
Man, it's so good. So freaking good. But man, you know what else is so freaking good?
Man.
Chicago,
we're going to Chicago, baby.
Yeah,
the fair and friendly city, the Windy City.
Yeah, is it fair and is that a thing?
I don't know if it is or not.
It will be once we get there.
It is. I think actually there's a town in Mississippi that's motto is the fair and friendly city. But I always like that. It just seems like it fits Chicago.
I like it.
I'm excited, man. We're going. Gonna get to meet a lot of folks up there that we've never interacted with before, and me see a city I've never been to before. Experience just kind of the mecca of the pipe world. It's gonna be game on.
It's gonna be
a few days. Yeah,
huge. Now, of course, if you're
I'm getting nervous to be like if I could just have an intimate moment with like our listeners and friends. Like I'm getting nervous, dude. Like I mean, we're gonna go up there and like. It's going to be like going to Disney World, but for pipe tobacco.
It's going to be awesome.
Like, I mean, I'm getting chill bumps, and like, I don't know if my anxiety can help it. Like, I'm an extrovert, but like, I'm kind of on the line. Like, I'm an introverted extrovert.
You're an extrovert when you're on your home turf.
Yeah. I think that's accurate. And so, like, just being around all these people, like, man. So if you see me in Chicago and I'm acting a little timid, like. Just
go up, give him a big hug.
Just
give him a big old hug.
Yeah, just give him. just be kind. I'm looking forward to it. Man.
Here's
it's
the
gonna
thing.
Be great.
Ever since we announced that we were going to Chicago, we've been kind of teasing out some information about it.
That's right.
Now we can be a lot more specific and tell you the exacts here. We're really excited about this, guys. We're actually going to be going. You can find us. We'll have a table. In association with this new community for pipe smokers that's coming out called This Pipe Life.
This Pipe Life.
Guys,
that's
we're
right.
So excited about this community and what they're all about. We're so honored to be kind of a part of this and asked to be a part of this. The cool thing, though, if you're going to Chicago, the location, when you walk through the door, we'll be right there, man.
Man, that's exciting.
Yeah, so apparently you walk right through the door where the table right by the entrance. You'll see us. You can look for This Pipe Life. We'll also have some Country Squire radio paraphernalia.
That's right.
While we're there, we'll be recording. Hopefully, we'll be able to pull a few of you guys on mic and actually do some brief interviews for those of you who have not gotten a chance to listen to our New Orleans Pipe Show episode. We want to do something very similar to that for Chicago.
That's right.
We would love the opportunity. We want to get some big names in the industry, but more importantly to us, the big names to us, which is you.
Yeah.
You've had to sit through listening to us for 3 years.
Let us listen to you.
Let us listen to you. And so,
if you're viewing live, you can see I'm just grinning from ear to ear because I'm so excited about this. When we went to New Orleans and had a similar experience where we were able to broadcast on site. We just had a great time interacting with some of our really good friends. But this is going to be a venue and a situation where you've got a very big multiplier of that. It's going to be just very, very large, and folks from all over the world. We're so excited to be partnering with This Pipe Life and all the cool stuff they've got going on. And we're just tickled. If I can use a word I like to use,
you like to use
John Davidism. We really are. We're tickled to be kind of a part of this new venture that is coming along in the pipe community. So please come look for us. Find us. Please come say hey. We'd love to. Occasionally, like Bo said, have the opportunity to pull some of y'all on air and just get to know you. Just get to know you and immerse ourselves in what is going to be just a wonderful time.
It's going to be a blast, man. Of course, we're 2 weeks away. Ideally, we'll be doing a live stream similar to what we did in New Orleans. It's possible that we might not have the capabilities one way or the other.
Yeah.
We will definitely be doing a Periscope while we're there. So be sure to be following us at Squire Radio.
Depends on internet connection, right?
Depends on internet connection.
So there's some variables here going on, but we're definitely going to be in the middle there and doing a lot of activity. Just depends on if it's live or not.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So
exciting.
Looking forward to it. And again, big ups to the folks at This Pipe Life and more information about that community as we get closer to Chicago.
That's right.
All right. And also, that's abroad. I mean, it feels abroad to us. But and here at the home base, we got an event coming up for the Mississippi Pipe Club, the Magnolia Pipe Club.
We do,
which is this Cathead Vodka Tour. What is this?
That's right. Mississippi has a distillery, Cathead Vodka. They may be branching out into whiskey now, Bo. I'm not sure.
Oh dang, are you serious?
I think I may have heard that. Yeah, that might be a thing. Maybe I hope that's not a lie, but I know they do vodka.
We got the exclusive.
We did.
Maybe.
I just invented news. That's what the
news
does all the time. So yeah, Cathead is a local distillery here in Central Mississippi. They make a really tasty vodka, Cathead vodka. They also have
delicious.
some infused vodkas, but particularly the one with honeysuckle is my favorite.
Yeah,
got a really just a nice sweet flavor, something that Southerners really enjoy. You can sip it straight, or or mix it with your favorite mixer. But anyway, the Magnolia Pipe Club this Saturday is going to take a tour of the Cathead Vodka Distillery in downtown Jackson, and we invite you to come. We just need to know by Thursday the 21st if you'll be able to make it. So please let us know by Thursday, April 21st, if you'll be able to make it. You can find us on online. Or just email me or tweet at me or something to let me know. And the tour will be on April 23rd. We're going to meet at the shop at 11 a.m. and go down that way. And after we do the tour, which is only $10, we'll be all smoking pipes afterwards at a pipe-friendly eating establishment. So
that you should come just for the
it's going to be great.
The rarity of that as a, as a thing.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. It's exciting. You'll probably need to eat something after you taste all this delicious vodka.
Yeah.
Which will be, you'll see kind of the production, how it goes through. I'm not a big vodka drinker.
Neither am I, but their stuff is good.
Yeah, it's good. When I drink vodka, I prefer something like that. They're just,
you don't always drink vodka.
But when I do, I prefer Cathead. It's a good vodka. Yeah, it's good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And anyway, for more information, shoot me an email, countrysquire1970@gmail.com, or hit us up on the Magnolia Pipe Club Facebook page.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait to do it. Can't wait to see a lot of you folks there in the local area. Guys, we've got an awesome topic, a very interesting topic for you tonight as we reopen the series. But before we get into it, let's talk about our sponsor for this episode. Of course, we're talking about Eric Stokeby, 4th generation.
That's right.
Now, it's great, with all of our sponsors, we encourage you to take selfies or take pictures of your tobaccos and your pipes and such. And we love getting those in. A lot of folks like to actually take their pipe and put it on their tobacco, or just take a picture of the tobacco, which is really great. But guys, hold it up to your face. You got to take the, we want to see your bright.
We want to see your mug, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's right. You get to look at ours if you.
But it's great because I think it was even the first episode that we had Eric Stokeby on as a sponsor, that somebody actually tweeted in and said, "Hey, I'm actually smoking my 4th generation right now."
Oh man, that's great.
And we've talked about it before, but of course, Eric Stokeby, just a phenomenal name in the pipe smoking world.
That's right.
For both pipes and tobacco. His 4th generation pipes and tobacco are excellent. Each one in the series kind of representing a generation, as with the name implies, with 4th generation.
That's right.
This week we're talking again about the 1882 pipe. And you were commenting on it right before we went live.
Yeah, all of his pipes are going to have kind of a Danish flair to them, but you could compare them to general British shapes that you might think of. I think with the 1882, you kind of see a brandy, maybe a kind of a steeper volcano look, but I would tend to call that a brandy. And comes in a variety of finishes: a beautiful orange, a natural finish, burnt sienna, and probably my favorite is the dark porter, which is a sandblasted finish. It's got just as you might imagine, a real nice deep sandblast where it really showcases the ring grain of the pipe. So slight bend to it with just a real nice metallic accent there at the end of the shank. So beautiful pipe.
Great looking pipe. The great thing about the Eric Stokeby 4th generation series, all of these in their series, is if you're buying it, you're buying a really great quality handcrafted pipe. So check it out. You can look for it at 4th generation tobacco or 4thgentobacco.com. Find those pipes. And also he's got a pipe tobacco for the
1882.
I'm sorry, 1882.
1882.
Dyslexia.
It's the Founder's Blend. The Founder's Blend. He says it achieves the perfect balance of Latakia and Oriental sun-cured tobaccos. So he's got enhanced by mature Virginias, complemented by a full-bodied Kentucky leaf. So real strong tobacco is something that's going to be robust and just give you a nice full-bodied smoke. But from the quality you would expect from a name like Stokeby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We've got a very interesting hero of the bowl to talk about today. Yes, we are reopening our Heroes of the Bowl series.
Yeah, this is fun. We kind of as a tradition, or as just a general convention with this series, have a have a set where, I oftentimes will do maybe a historical figure, and you'll oftentimes do, maybe someone from fiction.
Right.
And we this is kind of a blend.
Yeah, a little bit of both tonight.
I don't know. Maybe we've got one individual, and he's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I would say he's the most interesting man in the world. Or at least he certainly portrayed the most interesting man in the world. Guys, if you did not know, we're talking about Jonathan Goldsmith, which is the real name of the actor that has portrayed Dos Equis' most interesting man in the world.
That's right.
And to talk about him tonight, we actually have some Dos Equis lager.
We do.
Especial.
Cheers. Sometimes you just want a crisp, if I can speak.
Yep.
A crisp Mexican beer. You really do. Yeah, it's delicious.
Like, I've so many good memories over Dos Equis.
Yeah.
Look, back in the day when I was at college in Clinton.
Yeah.
I went to a Baptist university.
Right.
There was only one bar in Clinton at the time, and they sold beer for 99-cent pints of Dos Equis.
Golly.
And the reason is because they had to attract, like, they were like begging these college students to come in because they were the only
full
bar
of college kids, but they're
Baptist college.
But it's Baptist college kids.
Yeah.
And you were the Presbyterian. It's like, come on, guys, let's do this.
Oh man, it is a Presbyterian's dream. It is the benefit of going to that college.
That's hilarious, man. Yeah, there's so many good memories I've got with Dos Equis at a Mexican restaurant, just eating a lot of chips and salsa or something. But yeah, man, the most interesting man in the world, Jonathan Goldsmith. He, for the past, I guess, almost 7 years now, 6-7 years, has been the kind of spokesperson, if you would, for Dos Equis, and an interesting character.
It is very interesting because you might be listening and thinking, okay, yeah, most interesting man in the world. I remember seeing him, and he smokes cigars. Why are you guys talking about it? Well, what you might not realize is that Jonathan Goldsmith is actually a big pipe smoker.
He's a pipe smoker.
In fact, he's a hard man to get a hold of in terms of interviews, even for the more traditional media.
That's right.
But every single time you see him, either featured in a magazine or even in videos, he's always smoking a pipe.
Always got his pipe. I actually looked on Business Insider before we got on here, just kind of brushing up on a few little things before our episode tonight, and there he was smoking a Savinelli right there in front of a big old fireplace.
It was a Savinelli?
So, isn't that awesome?
Oh, that's awesome.
It was just so cool to get to see that, and that's a regular thing. Anytime this guy kind of comes out of character to expose himself to just real life, he's always got his pipe.
The crazy thing is that out of character, he's so very similar to his character. There's just there's just a cool air about him. In fact, I was actually watching a video that he did with the E Network, and he's lighting up his pipe. He's like, just begin whenever you're ready, and he's lighting it up, and she and she says, that is so cool. He's like, that's why I'm doing it.
That's why I'm doing it.
Like, that is so baller, man. It's awesome.
It's really great.
All right. So interestingly enough, the Dos Equis' most interesting man in the world, not actually a Latino man.
Yeah.
In fact, he's
from
actually
Vermont or something.
Well, he's from Vermont, but he's Jewish and actually of Russian descent. And it's funny because to hear him describe going in for the role of the most interesting man in the world,
right?
He sat down and he looked around him. There was all these Latino gentlemen all around him. And he was kind of at a loss because, again, here he was, this Jewish Russian actor,
right?
And up for this role for Dos Equis, the most interesting man in the world. And so this is kind of a fun fact. He actually based the character off of a friend of his who is also a sailing buddy, and that's Fernando Lovas.
Okay.
So kind of cool.
It is interesting. I think in reading about this, it sounded like he recognized at a very early stage in the process that they were wanting to do, something in kind of a Latino kind of macho character type thing, and maybe a younger character too, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I think in his mind he was like, how could a young person be the most interesting man in the world? That's impossible. And he just came along, and Jonathan Goldsmith from freaking Vermont and nailed it.
Well, the great thing is, you think about kind of this person who's gone places and done all these things to kind of create the air of the most interesting man in the world. And in fact, Jonathan Goldsmith is a very well-seasoned actor in terms of roles that he's played.
Yeah.
And, for some of you older folks out there who maybe grew up on Bonanza or Gunsmoke,
you've probably seen him before.
The old school spaghetti westerns. He was commonly featured as a bad guy. In fact, he was shot by John Wayne
in the face.
In the face, is that right?
I knew in the face.
I knew he was shot. John Wayne actually told him, every single person he's shot, now again, shot on screen.
Right.
Every single person he's shot became famous. Like that was his if there's any consolation, there you go.
Well, it worked out good for him.
Well, and it's funny because not only did he eventually become famous, it kind of took a while, right, to really rise to prominence. I mean, a lot of the characters that he ended up playing were villains. Were kind of, I hate to use this term, but freak of the week. Not that he was a freak, but that's kind of a term in television.
Freak of the week. What does that mean?
Yeah, so it's kind of a modern identification of serialized television where you have a new villain each week. So the heroes remain consistent. Your primary characters remain consistent every single week, but a new person gets added for this one episode.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like the best friend that one episode who also turns out to be evil, or they're going to be the one evil person who tries to break up. But then, after this one episode, we'll never hear from them again. That kind of thing.
Right.
So, so back in the day, he portrayed several villains of that caliber. But it's kind of interesting. He kind of had a feud back in the day with a young Dustin Hoffman.
Really?
Yeah. And in fact,
like an on-set, like an actual feud.
Yeah.
Like the actors themselves.
You know how these actors are, big personalities,
sure.
and clashing as it is. And, Hollywood is a competitive space. We've got actually several actors, especially out in our California, shout out to our California listeners, who are in the business. Even some folks in New York, and they can attest to, it's there's collaboration, right? There's a community there, but there is a little dog eat dog. I mean, at the end of the day, they're only looking for one actor, one actress to facilitate that one role.
And it's going to be me, Bo, not you.
Well, and there you go. And so, there is this kind of a competitive nature that can come out of that. You can end up creating rivals or in this case, a feud.
Yeah.
And so famously, the most interesting, then not the most interesting man in the world,
right?
Mr. Goldsmith actually told Dustin Hoffman, he said, the reason that you hate me, it's because you know that I'm going to make it and you're not.
Wow.
So this is again,
he told Dustin Hoffman
an early Dustin Hoffman. And it's been reported that the feud has since resolved several years later.
I can imagine. Yeah.
And Goldsmith he was like, yeah, I was wrong.
He's politely eating his crow, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But I love that he had like the stones to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's great. I think, if you're in his shoes, you got to, just take humble pie and move along.
Another very recognizable thing about the most interesting man in the world, and in fact, Mr. Goldsmith, is the manly beard that he sports.
Yeah.
As pipe smokers, we're fans of the beard.
A lot of bearded folk.
In fact, I've even thought about doing maybe a pipe culture episode about beards.
Kind of on beards.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, beard care products for when you're smoking a pipe.
Now,
there seems to be like
we need to honor the folks in the pipe community that can't grow a beard, and we have them.
Yep.
And the thing is, like, that, the reason I say the folks that can't grow a beard is because you've got people with beards and then people that can't grow beards. There's no one that could grow a beard that chooses not to grow a beard, right? I mean, that's just a thing. Right?
Sure. I
mean, maybe if you're in the military or which we appreciate you.
You're sacrificing the beard for your country.
Sacrificing your beard for the country. We're very thankful for that. And we honor that. Maybe if you're like an insurance salesman or work at a bank, but if you can grow a beard, you grow a beard.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that helps I feel like my money is safer at a bank where they all wear beards, where all the men are sporting beards. That's just me personally.
Well, anyway, he does have a nice beard. He has an exquisite beard.
Well, he's got a little trick to keeping his beard up.
What's that?
He uses his dog's flea comb.
The dog's flea comb?
The flea comb. Yep. That is how
that's kind of disgusting.
That's how Mr. Goldsmith grooms his beard.
Wow.
So I want you to picture this.
Why with the flea comb? Does he have fleas?
No. But that
would be interesting.
That would be interesting
if he did.
I cannot imagine the most interesting man in the world would have fleas in his beard.
No, but that's fascinating. I bet it's something to do with just the fineness of maybe the needles of the comb or something like that.
Gotta be.
Yeah,
gotta be.
That's fascinating.
But I mean, paint this picture here. He is. Let me try this again.
Right.
He smokes a Savinelli at every interview. When he combs his beard, he uses a dog's flea comb. He's been shot by John Wayne in the face. He once told Dustin Hoffman he was upset because he would never be as famous as he was.
Wow.
He is Jonathan Goldsmith, the most interesting pipe smoker in the world.
He is. He really is.
How about that?
Well, and I think what is most fascinating about him to me is, obviously that he is a pipe smoker, and you kind of have this connection with someone, and then you find out they're a pipe smoker, and you love them all the more. But he obviously smokes a pipe. Is good friends with the folks up at Vermont Freehand, which is obviously in Vermont's one of the big pipe supply houses for folks that make pipes in the United States. And so smokes a variety of pipes, often seen with the Savinelli. I've seen him with pictures of pipes like just general basket pipes and straight billiards, bent billiards, kind of all over the map. I think he kind of rotates a lot, but tends to like Captain Black, tends to smoke Captain Black, which is kind of a drugstore pipe tobacco, which is great. So over the counter guy, just likes to keep it real simple. And man, you appreciate that, it's great. But he's always got his pipe with him, and he is very proud of that.
So I got to ask, I mean, would you pair Captain Black with Dos Equis?
I personally would not.
Yeah.
Nothing. Captain Black has its place, obviously, but I do have a pairing tonight
with Dos Equis.
With Dos Equis, actually.
Oh, appropriate.
I have a pairing, and I thought this would be kind of fun. The reason I picked this tobacco for a couple of reasons. This is a tobacco made by two daughters and Ryan, out of our friend Mark Ryan. But this is Ramback, and it comes in a 40-gram tin. And it is a Turkish tobacco, they say expertly selected from the finest regions, then cured and blended by craftsmen to provide a sensory delight. And then, as is tradition on all Two Daughters and Ryan products, it is followed up by saying this product intended exclusively as used for pipe tobacco. And that's probably because this is the cut is such that it would probably make a pretty good cigarette.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah, absolutely.
But Ramback is nice. It's a Turkish blend, so it's going to have that kind of cedary, earthy flavor. But there's a crispness there just on the back of it that reminds me of that last draw on a real crisp cold beer. And that's kind of what made me think of the Dos Equis. I'll let you smell that real quick.
Yeah.
I think it even kind of smells like beer. I don't know.
That's good. Yeah. I can get that.
It's good. That. It's good stuff. It's robust, but not harsh, which I appreciate. So, some of the fun things about the most interesting man in the world, obviously, and you had mentioned him some on the Periscope that we did before we came on, but yes. I love the little quips that they use to sell this stuff. I think my favorite was he finds the fountain of youth, but doesn't drink because he wasn't thirsty.
That's good. I got one for you. He lives vicariously through himself.
It's just so great. There's so many of them, which I think is a lot of fun. But the most interesting man in the world.
The nice thing is he would also occasionally impart wisdom on the viewer as well.
Right.
There's one that I honestly feel like this is exceptional advice. He's like, you must find the one thing that you are not good at, and then don't do that thing. And it's funny, but that's good advice.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good advice. Yeah. So, we'd be remiss if we did not at least mention the fact that Dos Equis did send off the character of the most interesting man in the world.
That's correct.
Recently.
Retired him, as it were.
Retired him. They had a Scottish marching band escorting the most interesting man in the world with a lovely blonde model.
That's right.
Onto a rocket ship, which was shot up into space as a wolf howled into the night.
On a one-way trip to planet Mars.
Yes, that's right.
It is a one-way trip.
Yeah. And his final words to the human race, to us here on Earth: stay thirsty, my friends.
That's right. Oh, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You've gotten some props for your accents recently.
That's yours. Really?
Yeah.
No, I feel like I've gotten some hate from my accents.
No. Our friend Gary in the UK, I think right outside of London, he was commenting on that your British accent was really, really fantastic. Man.
All right. Well, hey, thanks, Gary. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think you got to roll with that, dude.
All right, I'll take it. If Gary says it's good, then there you go.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this. I'm glad that you think that I have the good voice for it. But really, what I want to hear is our listeners' best impressions, or better yet, our listeners taking on this concept of the most interesting man in the world. But I want to hear the most interesting man in pipe tobacco, which is John David Cole. So here's the challenge. I'm putting this out there.
What a terrible idea.
No, I'm being dead serious about this. I don't know. I'm going to find the music. I'll make it as easy for you as possible because I want you guys to take this idea and roll with it. And I'll find a way to get the music out and available to you. But I want you guys to go and come up with some, some great things like, when he blends English, the Queen requested immediately or something like that. Y'all be way funnier than I am. But point being, come up with some great little quips for John David Cole, the most interesting man in pipe tobacco.
That's funny, dude. Well, we'll see where that goes. But
I love that you're accepting this. Normally you hate these ideas.
We could have some mileage on that. I mean, I
think so. I will play. Yeah. I will play the best ones before before an episode of Country Squire Radio.
That's fair.
Yeah,
okay, that's fair. I accept that challenge. I will not be too embarrassed by that.
All right, so y'all have fun. Let me know if you have any questions on how to get that in, and we'll make that happen. One of the most interesting men in pipe tobacco is Mr. John David Cole. Another most interesting man as well in terms of pipes is Philip over at Missouri Meerschaum.
That's right,
man. Love Phil. Absolutely. Actually, looking forward to seeing him at Chicago.
In Chicago, that's right. Yeah.
A lot of these great pipe carvers are. Actually, was emailing him earlier today. Was really excited to connect, and we'll be looking forward to connecting with him. But in the meantime, I've got to tell you about one of his pipes, the Washington corncob pipe.
Man, absolutely.
Now, last week I had you close your eyes and visualize what a corncob pipe should be. And therein lies the Washington pipe. And I stand by that, man. It's a quality pipe.
It is. It's one of the longtime sellers we've had here at the Country Squire, which is just a real classic, clean corncob pipe shape. Typically the ones with a little bend to them are a house favorite here at the Squire, but they also have a straight version as well. Just a real solid, just regular size, kind of middle size bowl. They're made of the cob with a nice wood extension and the ebonite plastic in there, which takes a filter, and we love it. It literally is, when you think of a corn cob, you think of the Washington corn cob by Missouri Meerschaum. And I tell you another thing I like about the corn cobs from Missouri Meerschaum. Of course, I'm sitting here smoking my Cobbett pipe tonight, but they're great for trying new tobaccos. They're great for sampling tobaccos that you've never tried before, that you really want to get a good idea of kind of a pure flavor. Now, corn cobs do have a pure or kind of a flavor of their own, but I would really recommend, if you are giving a tobacco a try that you've never tried before and you really want to get the nuances of it, run it through your best corn cob and see what that does. I think you'll be rewarded by that experience.
Absolutely. So big thanks to Missouri Meerschaum. If you guys have got a Washington pipe, A, you should have one. B, go buy one.
Yep.
And C, take a picture of it, tweet it out to us. We'll retweet that out at Squire Radio. All right, man. Pipe question of the week. Got one in from, sorry. Losing my place here in the show notes. Live show foul.
Got it.
That was right.
I got it. Oh, yeah.
No. This is me. I just had to pull up the thing. Pipe question of the week this week comes in from Greg Holder, who asks, what are your suggestions for a good introductory tobacco that I can offer friends who are curious about pipe smoking?
Yeah.
Excellent question.
It's a good question. And, we go to questions like these sometimes with, our Pipe 101 series and some of those that, where we kind of talk about newer pipe smokers and what's the best gateway thing for them to come into the pipe universe. But there's two schools of thought here, right? So you've got new pipe smokers like the stuff that smells really good and smells really sweet, and that kind of entices them to get involved in the pipe tobacco, pipe smoking world. But then there's also this component of, they need to have something that is easy to light and to keep lit, and is also going to be easier on their tongue. And so kind of finding that combination of something that smells and tastes sweet, but is also easy to keep lit and easy to, on their tongue. As Mrs. Reeves that founded our shop always used to say, you want a tobacco that's very kind to the mouth. Yeah. And so I think for new pipe smokers, that's a key. I would frankly point you to something really simple, like a Lane 1Q. I think that's a really good option, or a Lane BCA. At the Country Squire, we sell a tobacco that we blend here in the house. It's similar to 1Q, but it's our version, and we It's a private recipe that we've had for 40 years now called Cherokee. Cherokee's great because it's semi-sweet. It's got a great room note, but it's one of those that you can smoke all day long and not get sick of it. It's easy to keep lit, easy on your tongue. We also have one called Black and Tan, which is really nice. Stokkebye's number 24 Nougat is also a really good tobacco. One that's just real smooth, very lightly cased, easy to keep lit, just soft on your tongue. And, I think tobaccos like that kind of have to strike the balance between nicely aromatic, but also easy to keep lit and not harsh on your tongue. I think that's going to be the key there. Even a rubbed out like Orlet Golden Slice maybe, or if you're looking at some of the McClellan blends, you might think of like a Virginia Woods, or something that's just got a little tiny sweetness to it, but something that is going to be just real user friendly, I guess is what I would say. So
that's good.
I'd probably point you in one of those directions.
It is interesting because it can be a very daunting task walking into the pipe store. I mean, we've all, I would wager that all of us, if not 99% of us, if not all of us, have had that moment where we walked into a pipe shop for the first time,
right?
And we saw all the pipes, we saw all the tobaccos, we saw all these tins, we saw all these tools,
and then you scream and are like, "I need an adult."
Yeah. I mean, it's just all of a sudden it can be very overwhelming.
That's right. That's right.
Picking those early blends are crucial, and I think it might be worthwhile. I don't know if we've ever done a pipe smoking 101 on that, but we may want to expand on that at some point, and gather some of your thoughts, and maybe even if you've got a pipe tobacco, whatever your first pipe tobacco was, if it was a good experience, send that in. And if you had a first pipe tobacco that was not a good experience for you, send that in too. That might be kind of interesting. It's kind of like, for my money, you don't want to start off drinking coffee just straight up black. You know what I mean? You gotta
put a little cream in there.
Put a little cream in it.
Maybe a little sugar in there. Yeah. Or you might not start out with the Dos Equis. You might start with, heaven forbid, a Coors Light or something.
Dos Equis. I would actually say you could start with Dos Equis.
I was probably more of a pansy than you are.
Actually, my first ever beer was Amberbock.
Okay, that's respectable.
Yeah.
No, that's respectable.
First ever beer was an Amberbock.
Yeah.
I was an entire pitcher of Amberbock. We were all drinking it by the pitcher.
Yeah. And then you had your 16th birthday.
No, that was at my. No, look, man, I was not one of the cool kids. That was literally at my 21st birthday.
And then you had your 27th birthday.
All right. So great question.
Really good question. Absolutely.
And be sure to send in your pipe questions of the week. You can email us csr@podastery.com. All right. Quick fire questions.
Bring them, baby.
All right. So this comes from the most interesting CSR listener out there, Pappy Joe.
He really is.
He really is.
He really is.
He really is.
He really is the most interesting man. Always good to hear from you, Pappy.
Yeah, and so he's actually sent us enough so that it's going to be this week and next week.
Okay, good.
Pappy Joe's bringing us all the way to Chicago, baby. We're gonna have this week and next week.
That's great.
So all right, ready for this?
Yep, bring them.
These are so good. Riverboat cruise down the Mississippi or trail ride on a horse across Oklahoma?
Riverboat cruise. I'm too lazy for the other, and the other sounds awesome, but like I don't have that kind of stamina. Yeah, it'd be fun for like the first maybe half a day, and then I'd want like my MacBook and like you
could just get an attachment on the
sit
back
on
of the
something
horse.
Soft and like warm pipe. I mean, you can smoke your pipe, I guess, while you're. I got to go with the cruise down the Mississippi.
When's the last time that you rode a horse?
Probably 2 years ago.
Yeah. It's probably been
about horseback, right? It's fun.
It's probably been about a decade, if not more, since I've been on the back of a horse. When I was growing up, horses scared me because they were just so big.
Yeah.
And I mean, you hear horror stories about people getting kicked, and so I was always worried the thing was going to kick me.
Yeah.
But I did ride horses at camp. I always found it to be quite painful in ways that I don't prefer. So that
elaborate on that, Bo.
No, I don't think I need to. Speaking of the stones,
it's kind of a painful situation.
It's a painful ride all the way to Oklahoma.
I do like riding horses, but I'm gonna have to go with the riverboat down the Mississippi River.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Baseball game with hot dog and beer, or cricket with tea and crumpets?
Baseball with a hot dog. I mean, cricket, that's interesting to me. And when I was at Mississippi State, big engineering school, and we had a lot of students and had a lot of friends from East Asia and Southern Asia. So we had a lot of our friends from India, places like Pakistan and Bangladesh, and they loved cricket. So I'd go out on the quad, which at State is called the drill field, where the ROTC would drill, parade around during their drill, and a lot of times those students would be out there playing cricket, and it was fascinating to watch. But I'm gonna go with the hot dog, and if I could watch cricket and eat a hot dog, I'd be down for that. But I don't think cricket and hot dogs go too well together.
Ew, it's cricket, is it? Yes, quite. Yes.
Give me your finest hot dog.
The bowler, right? There's a bowler in cricket, isn't there?
I don't know anything about cricket.
Yes, of course there is. You know what? The only thing more boring than watching baseball is watching golf.
Okay.
And I don't think I've watched cricket before, but I think out of fascination, I'd find it more interesting. I'm not a big hot dog fan.
Yeah.
But that one does have the beer. Really? It's really, this is what it comes down to. Watch cricket with tea and crumpets,
right?
Or drink beer doing anything.
You really just want the food, right? Yeah.
I think I will go cricket and tea and crumpets. I'm curious to sit in on
That's
that.
fair. Yeah.
Good. Okay. And ale and pirate sea shanties, or white wine and chamber music.
That's pretty great.
I told him that was the best.
That's actually
question
pretty
we've
great.
ever gotten.
Man, I'm gonna go full out John David Cole here, and man, golly, this is kind of embarrassing. I'm gonna go with white wine and chamber.
Of course
music.
you are.
I am, dude. Like, I mean, I love an ale. You know, I'm sitting here drinking this, nice Dos Equis lager, and man, bring on the chamber music, man.
So every single night, I sing to my infant child, who's not an infant anymore, actually. She's like a toddler. But I sing to her, and I sing to her sea shanties. There's a couple of hymns in there. And then there's also, I always finish with a medley that my grandfather used to sing to me growing up. But to get there, I always go through a number of sea shanties, which is funny because some of it's like, now my son John was long and slim, and he had a leg for every limb, but now he has no limbs at all. They both got shot away by a cannonball. And so, like, they can be kind of violent, but if you think about it,
your kids are gonna be so weird.
No, like
that's great.
They're gonna be awesome. Man.
No, they're gonna be awesome. They're just gonna have a lot of really interesting factoids.
That's what you want for your kids.
No, that is what you want. No, that's great. Look, I'm all about that, and
of course you're gonna go with your white.
I think
wine.
that's good. I love a good glass of Chardonnay. Look, and if you want to play some chamber music, whether it be I don't know, some Brahms, or some I really like Bach, and
I'm not bashing it,
organ stuff, or Mozart. I don't know. I could go with that.
Yeah, no, it's classic. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, great question. I will say I think I'm going to stamp it. That is the best quick fire question that we've ever gotten.
They were quite solid.
He's got some solid ones for next week as well, but that one right there in particular, that's well done, Pappy Joe. You got some quick fire questions for us, send them in, csr@podastery.com. We actually have a couple lined up for Chicago. One of our listeners is sending in a bunch of pipe questions, our quick fire questions rather, for while we're in Chicago.
Yeah.
So that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's right. I always forget how to structure this. That's all right. Live show, get to see how the hot dog is made. I hate hot dogs. Now, sausage dog, I'm all about. All right, man.
Baseball with tea and crumpets. And beer.
No.
And beer.
Okay. I'm in. Excellent. Quick fire questions. We got some great listener feedback this week, but first, let's talk about our last sponsor for this episode, talking about Peter Stokkebye Luxury Bullseye Flake.
Ow!
Now, we like to add in a little tobacco trivia from time to time.
That's right.
Here's something interesting. Did you know that Peter Stokkebye and Herman G. Lane were old rivals back in the day?
Yeah.
You did know that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that would make sense. I mean, you've got, two of the biggest heavyweights in the tobacco industry. Yeah, that makes sense. And now in America, you're freaking distributed by one company.
Yep. Oh,
that's great.
It all comes together.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, you got to check it out. Peter Stokkebye Luxury Bullseye Flake. The Stokkebye legacy has impacted the pipe world and continues to do so to this day. At some point, we would love to do a Stokeby focused episode.
Yeah.
And I think that's coming. Hopefully
it's coming soon.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
We've kicked around some good ideas about that.
Oh, it's so good. You're gonna be stoked for this Stokeby one. Oh my gosh, there's so many things you could do with that name.
But we love the luxury bullseye flake. It's a house favorite here at the Country Squire. And if you're not familiar with it, we talk about it a lot, obviously, but just think of a really nice medallion of tobacco, just a real solid bullseye with that nice dark black Cavendish there in the middle, surrounded by just a variety of Virginias and Burleys that just really make it taste smooth and semi-sweet. So just a good grassy flavor that you would expect from a Virginia with that nice fermented Cavendish in the middle. It's a unique smoking experience, and we recommend it to you.
Absolutely. All right, listener feedback this week. We've got a comment on YouTube that I really wanted to read here for you.
Yeah.
He says, I really miss the videos that JD and Butch from the store, of JD and Butch from the store.
Me too.
Testing tobaccos and laughing at bad jokes. What happens? This is a good one. I'm talking about the YouTube for Country Squire Radio.
Yeah.
But it's a podcast, and he's right about that.
He is.
Happy smoking. Keep up the good work,
man. Rick the Sick on YouTube, man. Yeah. Thanks for mentioning that. I will definitely pass that along to my friend Butch. Butch actually, I don't think he'd mind me saying this. He recently got a new job.
He posted it, but he posted it on April 1st, so I wasn't sure if he was serious.
Yeah, and I know, right? Yeah, I mean that's you have to wonder these things. But yeah, Butch is actually going to be moving. And so we have had to see some of our try new tobacco today experiences that we've done on YouTube before, but had a lot of fun. If you will go back and look at some of those, the jokes were terrible. There were lots of
as you'd expect,
lots of awkward moments and silence with me and Butch kind of looking at each other, trying to figure out who was going to break first. Like it was great. So you never know. We might try to bring back a few of those down the road. But thanks, and I will definitely let our friend Butch know that he's a really dear friend.
And if you haven't checked those out, I'll put a link to that series y'all did in the show notes for this episode. Really
try new tobacco today.
We got on iTunes.
On iTunes, we've got Garrett LL. He says, fantastic, an absolute joy to listen to while smoking, working, or avoiding the in-laws.
Oh,
that's great.
Yes, sir.
That's great.
Preaching to the choir on that one. Yeah, so look, hey, by the way, if you have not yet taken the opportunity to write us an iTunes review, I would strongly encourage you to do it. We have almost consistently, almost since the beginning of this podcast, maybe even since the beginning of this podcast, we have had an iTunes review, at least one that we have read for every single episode. And we're running close to the end here. So for those of you, especially new listeners, head over to countrysquireradio.com, click on the link for iTunes and go ahead and send us a review. We'd love to get that in from you. You got a couple of Twitter comments?
No, I can't read them yet. That we're just getting in some feedback on our on your
good
most interesting tobacconist challenge here. So that that's
I'll be retweeting those out tonight.
It's pretty great.
Well played. Use the hashtag most interesting man in pipe tobacco.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Did we want to read this one?
Yeah, but first I did want to read actually one of the Twitter comments we had going in because it's relevant. Let me see if I can find it. From our good friend Brian Levine over at Pipes Magazine Radio. He tweeted in, look what he tweeted in. Getting caught up on some paperwork and waiting to watch my favorite Shire folk. I mean, Squire folk.
Oh, well done, sir.
Yep. Tip of the hat to you, sir.
Well done. Tip of the hat. He also later in the episode wanted to make sure we knew that white wine and chamber music with a bed of roses was probably my pick. But as for him, he goes with pirate shanties all the way.
Yes, sir. Hey, cheers to you, sir.
That's right.
I love how he tries to insult us by calling us hobbits. That's the best way that you want. If you want to throw insults to us, compare us to hobbits as much as you want.
Dude,
we love that.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And accurate.
It really is.
Oh, man. All right. Hey, last but not least, we got a comment on Facebook. You want to read that real quick?
If I can pull it up.
I got it right here.
Okay.
Last but not least, we got a comment on Facebook from Jerry Darnell, Jeremy. Sorry. From Jeremy Darnell, which says, I'm a Latakia lover and would love for you to expand on the difference between English and Balkan blends. And man, this is a great comment because, we've done an episode in the past about Latakia, but he's not alone. We've gotten some folks actually commenting in, asking some more questions about this subject matter. And, one of the things that we've historically done when approaching a lot of topics is we kind of do a little bit of a shallow look with the goal of kind of going in layers and layers in later episodes. So next week, we will actually be taking a look back on Latakia.
That's right.
And doing a little bit of a deeper dive. So to you, Jeremy, that's coming. Be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode. And we'll be taking a look back at Latakia.
Yeah, real timely comment. That's great.
Absolutely. Hey, we of course do broadcast live here at countrysquireradio.com. We'd love for you to tune in. You can tune into the live podcast at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. That is 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. You can find the link at countrysquireradio.com. We'd love for you to actually tweet into us. Like you said, we're already getting some folks tweeting in with the the most interesting man in pipe tobacco concepts. So hashtag it, most interesting man in pipe tobacco. We may put up a post on Facebook. Love to get your thoughts in there, especially hoping for those audio files.
So ridiculous.
One way or the other, keep in touch with us. You can follow me at The Real Bo York.
I'm at John David Cole, or you can get us at the shop at _Country Squire.
And of course, the show's Twitter handle is at Squire Radio. That's also our Periscope handle. So if you're getting ready for Chicago, but you're not going to necessarily be able to join us in physical presence, you can at least join us for any kind of fun streaming we'll be doing. And Periscope's a great way to keep up with that, along with the Twitter and Facebook channels. Links to all that good stuff at countrysquireradio.com.
That's right.
All right, man. Well, what a most interesting episode we've had.
It was a most interesting episode. I'm kind of having fun reconnecting with a beer I haven't had in a while.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's really good. And a lot of times when you go to a Mexican restaurant, they'll put a little piece of lime up there in the top.
Oh,
so you kind of squish that down in there. You got to turn it up so the lime floats to the top. It's an old college trick. Man, I could get on board with this,
man.
And maybe I might develop a problem. Again.
Let's not do that. But I tell you what, man, let's go have a night.
See you, brother.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning into the live show. Hope y'all had a lot of fun. We're already enjoying seeing your Twitter comments. Again, hashtag most interesting man in pipe tobacco. I'll be retweeting those out tonight. So yeah, keep them coming. Thanks so much.
Good night, y'all.
All right. I need to end